Wow.
Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Trek. We're aware that perhaps on Facebook this evening the stream is not showing for some reason. We're not entirely certain why. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a quick post on Facebook just to say it's not working. James, if you could just talk and entertain people while I do that.
I'll talk nonsense. Okay, so welcome to this evening's edition of Let's Talk Trek, where you see all four of us are present. Myself, Richard, who sits to my left, our colleagues from Scumbag University in the north, Dan and Carl, who are where are they? They're not here. I don't know. We haven't heard from either of them today, so they're obviously busy. Oh, according to the stream, no one is watching us at all, Richard. That's unusual. Not even us. No one is watching us at all. But yes, we've got a packed program with a new feature for you this evening, and you may well have the opportunity of winning this copy of John Barrowman Gets His Knob Out Live at the Royal Albert Hall. That's certainly up for grabs. Yes. Also, just to draw your attention to the fact that behind me, my waving cat has a little placard now. I'll bring that closer to the camera so you can see that he's now on strike, demanding better pay and conditions for waving cats. And possibly repairs since my son broke him. We're going to talk about, hopefully, Prodigy this evening. I've watched the last episode of Prodigy, which is a bit of a TOS throwback. Quite a good episode, which is fun, particularly when I saw the episode of Futurama this Friday that had all of the original series cast in. That was tremendous fun. How are we doing there, Richard, with the notices?
Stand by.
I'll carry on blathering, shall I? Okay, so next weekend is London Film and Comic Con. I don't know if anyone's going to that, but if you are, pop something in the comments and let us know. Richard and I are umming and ahhing about whether we might manage to make it up for a day or two. So I can see in the comments we have good evening, Gary. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Good evening, Vicky. How are you doing? Right. Good evening, Christoph. What's this? No FB stream today. Well, that might explain why there's only 3 people watching. Richard's working on it. IT's on it. Don't panic. Who have we got? Nadine. Ooh, trying to click on your comment. There we are. Good evening to you. Christoph, you did get an FB notification. I don't know. Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, ITE sort of thing. So, tell us, peeps, what you've been up to this week. Have you been watching any Trek? If so, what have you been watching? Anybody got anything to chuck in?
No one's watching, so we're going to struggle for that. But
oh, hello, who's this? Pickersgill, greetings from Amsterdam. Good evening to you and your guitar. Christoph says, Richard, still no FB notification about the stream. That was about a post. Still 6 people watching. Someone's picking it up.
Well, I've managed to get it going on a couple of the pages, but if anyone's watching on YouTube and they can post this to the Trekkies Guide or the Riker's Beard or various other places, then please do, because feel bad that anyone who normally would watch the show feels like they're missing out. So if you could share this on your Facebook streams or to various Star Trek sites, then we'd really appreciate it. And apologies for the technical hitch. Yeah, don't cross the stream. I'm not into. Unfortunately, James and I don't hold the keys to the StreamYard application. That's down to our northern brothers who are a little bit AWOL this evening. So we'll have to make do just with our YouTube audience.
Yes. Yeah. So, Richard, what have you been watching this week?
Well, this week I watched a bit of Prodigy with my son. And I watched a bit of Voyager. I've literally just watched the last episode before Scorpion Part 1, which is one of my favourite episodes, which is the holonovel that Tuvok has written, where the Maquis try and overthrow the ship, and Seska has a jack-in-a-box thing that jumps in and rewrites itself and tries to kill them. It is a lovely episode. I quite enjoyed it.
Is it as good as the one where Tuvok continuously murders Neelix?
No, it's close though. I do like those ones though. But yeah.
Have a look at this comment here from Pickers Gill.
Do you think the Orville is in direct competition now to Strange New Worlds, guys? Seems like Seth Starr's become. I'd like to say yes. I've got a feeling Orville's not going to be renewed for another season, which sucks because I think the last season of the Orville was absolutely superb. James and I will disagree about this, but I thought it was better than Strange New Worlds. I enjoyed it that much. I thought it was absolutely delightful. But yeah, I think they got rid of a lot of the stupidness. I'm not saying, and went a little bit more serious with it. But it was delightful because I thoroughly enjoyed it. So is it in direct competition? Well, yes, I think it's beaten it. But there we go. It's definitely my daughter's favourite captain. It's one of those things where you see representation working when your daughter loves it and likes to see it. And genuinely was still in this day and age surprised to see a female captain. So just goes to show how important it is. There certainly is. I'd agree with that, Nadim. I want to see more Strange New Worlds. I want to see more Orville. I want to see more of everything.
Yes, but we are spoiled right now for the amount of stuff that's in production, aren't we?
Well, what have we got coming up, James?
Well, we've got Picard Season 3, of course, to look forward to, or as I think it's more likely to be known, TNG Season 8.
Yeah, I mean, that's February, is it? That's coming out?
It is. Strange New World Season 2, I'm not sure when that's due out, but it's in the can. We know they've filmed it.
Right. There'll be another episode, another season of Discovery coming up soon, presumably.
Yep, there's at least 3 episodes of Doctor Who next year with David Tennant in.
But related to Star Trek, though.
Well, I'm talking about good science fiction.
Well, as you know, James and I are the hugest fans of Discovery. However, you know, this season could completely turn things on its head and all of a sudden be amazing. You don't know, do you? So, or say amazing, might be more to our tastes.
Who's Sit and Spin?
Sorry? Sit and Spin. I've seen a film called Sit and Spin.
Was it from your special collection?
It was.
Is it about a washing machine?
It is.
Yeah, of course it is. Yes. Oh, hello. What's this? Pickers Guild. Yes. Afraid not. Tom Baker coming back as the Doctor is pretty unlikely now. If you've seen recent photographs of him, he does look a little bit frail. It would have to be CGI, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's a shame. The last time we saw him was in Folkestone, wasn't he? He was driving a Rover 75.
Oh, hello.
Was it a special wheelchair? Did it have modifications?
I think Judith saw on the Riker's Beard we posted this week about a captain's chair that's been built by Volkswagen.
Yes,
which is German, by the way, for
hour.
people's car. Yes, apparently it can drive 12 miles an hour with a range of something like 20 miles, so you can maneuver around your office, and it has built-in lights and all sorts of things. Sounds fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'd rather have one attached to a starship, but, you know.
Well, beggars can't be choosers, matey.
Beggars can't be choosers. So, in terms of covering the Star Trekness of the Star Trek that we need to talk about this evening, I mean, how are we doing? We've got Discovery, we've got Picard coming up. There's still rumours about a Janeway series.
She keeps dropping hints, doesn't she, that Kate Mulgrew, that there may be some live-action Janeway appearing somewhere.
Well, I'm wondering where we are film-wise, because we've not had a film for a while, and they've been really rattling their sabres for TV series, possibly to try and push Paramount Plus. But do you think we're in line for getting a few, or possibly just one more, maybe Abrams film, or some other films coming up?
Well, they did. There was all talk about a Star Trek 4, wasn't there? And it was going to have Chris Hemsworth back in it as George Kirk. and all the wheels fell off that. I think it was to do with pay and conditions for the actors again, but I think that's dead and buried.
That's done. So we can kiss goodbye to the Abrams verse. Is that's done?
Well, let's think this through. So the first one was 2009. The second one was 2014. I'm going to say Into Darkness. I think there was a 5-year gap. Then Beyond was, I think, 2016. So that was a 2-year gap. But we're now 6 years on from that with no sign of anything even starting production. So I think it's getting a bit late in the day for them to bring it back, isn't it?
Yeah, I think possibly the Abrams verse is dead and buried. So if we were gonna, well, let's put it this: we've had the Abrams verse reboot of TOS, and could we possibly have another reboot of? Would you want to see a Next Generation reboot with someone else playing the Next Generation cast for a film?
I have to say, I was cross when they meddled with perfection with the Kelvin universe, and I'd be even more cross if they were to meddle with TNG. Why can't we just have new content? Why can't we have, Picard sends a new ship off as an admiral. He says, "Off you go," and he sends off the Enterprise F. Or
for a film?
Well, no, a series. Why can't we just have another
But
Star Trek series
I'm
where
talking
people
about.
go and explore strange new worlds and seek out new civilizations? I mean, why can't we just go back to
let's
that?
Park that for a moment and get back to that. If we were to have a film, what would we like to see? Because I think we talked about it last week. We really did enjoy.
Ooh, dirty girl.
Oh, you dirty girl. If we were to rewind and talk about a specific film, I think last week I said about originally Year of Hell was pitched as a film for Voyager. Now,
I thought it was meant to be a season-long arc rather than a film.
It was pitched originally as a film, but I wonder if you could go back and revisit, because Voyager was such an episode of the week kind of program, and a lot of things happened we didn't get to see. Could you go back and have possibly a couple of films, kind of unseen Voyager, what they got up to out in the Delta Quadrant? I mean, is there any mileage in that?
Bit tricky, I'd say, Richard, when we're 20 years after they wrapped filming on it, and you're going to have to explain how the characters don't look the same.
Well, like with the Kelvin universe, you'd recast.
Well, you think basically a complete recasting, and
it'd be a complete recast of the characters. So you'd have to get some new people in.
Voyager film.
Yeah, I think a Voyager film would. I think there's mileage in that because there's so much stuff that that happened that we didn't get to see. I guess the only thing is, you'd know the characters aren't going to be killed off, but you kind of know that with a Star Trek film anyway.
Hang on, sorry, I'm just trying to keep up with all these comments.
Considering there's only 8 people watching, they're doing well tonight. Thank you, guys.
How are the eyes? I understand you had some surgery. He's now got a visor.
Cool.
Sorry, I got distracted. We were talking about Voyager films, weren't we?
Yeah, I mean, let's hit it off the bat then in the comments, rather than just going through the whole cast. First things first, who would you get to play Janeway? I mean, who would you enjoy to see as Captain Janeway?
Graham Norton.
Not my first choice. Not my first choice.
Who would you go for then?
I'm desperately trying to think of the actress's name, but I can't. Bugger it.
I'm not sure. Picker's Gill, who we're talking about with not enough hair, but what the hell?
I think I've got an adequate amount of hair. No more than is needed. Now, in terms of features this week, what have we got? Do we have any booze? What have we got from you, Jim?
Well, we do. Hang on.
And let me do the sting then if we've got some booze.
Okay. Right. So very special announcement this evening. When it comes to booze, Hello, Richard. What have you done? When it comes to booze, everybody knows that I am a big fan of Anno Gin. But here's the great news. Yesterday I discovered that Anno now do rum. Check it out. So I was in their distillery shop yesterday and I chanced upon the rum and I'm very happy about it. And I bought 2 miniatures to play with and then I'll choose which of the ones I want on my Christmas list. But Anno rum, everybody. And if you're listening from Anno, we are available for sponsorship deals and to continue,
Are you going to try one of
plugging your
these?
product.
Are you going to
Sorry,
try
Richard?
one on there? Tell us what you think.
Oh no, I can't crack the seal right now. No, I want to have the proper chance to do this. So
But
stay
now,
tuned on another occasion, dear viewer.
gosh, Grayman
confusing.
Norton.
Ooh. Well, Vicky, that's because you're a lady of great taste.
Oh, Nadim's Kate Winslet for Captain Janeway. She certainly would look. I'm not sure she's a strong enough actress, but she's certainly would look the part, wouldn't she?
Draw me like one of your Native American girls, Chakotay.
Have you seen that Arnold Schwarzenegger? Look at my boobies, Jack. Look at them.
that's brilliant, that clip.
It's
You
marvelous.
can't unsee it. Don't know who Rowan J. Coleman is.
Sorry, no, not aware of who he is.
I'll look him up later.
But anyway, that was booze reviews for yous.
Oh.
I'm still disappointed you're teasing us with viewing it. Now, I've got some booze reviews to do this week.
Oh, fantastic.
So Mrs. Richard did our weekly shop as an experiment this week at Asda's, which is sort of like a northern supermarket. And instead of my usual wine, she got me this.
Shiraz.
It's winemaker's choice. They didn't choose to keep it. It's great with beef, pasta, cheese, and at lunchtime.
And in a glass.
I have to say, the bucket's a little smokier than I would have thought, but it's better than no wine.
Is it crisp yet nutty with herbaceous aftertaste?
Not really, no. It's sort of like a dishwasher tablet.
Okay, yes. So, you don't seem you don't seem to be enjoying that. Does it put hair on your tongue? The biggest chesticles. Well, that'll be Schwarzenegger. Right. Okay. So, who are we going to have for Chakotay then? Let us know in the comments who you think for Chakotay.
Oh, that's easy.
I'm going to go with
Dwayne Johnson.
Jack Whitehall.
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson as Chakotay?
Yeah, absolutely. He'd be brilliant as Chakotay.
Couldn't he be like that chap who hangs around at the back of the bridge in Voyager, who was a really massive bloke, and he never says a word?
No, I like Dwayne Johnson talking. He's funny. And guys, if any of you are watching are fans of shows like Ted Lasso or the remake of All Creatures Great and Small on Channel 5, which is superb, then you must watch the show called Young Rock. Even if you don't like wrestling, it's one of the most marvelous TV programs you'll ever watch. It's absolutely lovely. It's so inspiring. People's out there, absolutely.
I don't get that reference. What's that mean?
So The Rock has a move. I can demonstrate it for you if you like.
Go on then.
Okay, so he's sort of his opponent is sort of on the floor, and then he stands over him and he goes, like that, and then he drops on him with an elbow, and that's called the People's Elbow.
I see it. It sounds terribly unfair.
His eyebrow. Right, so who wants to play a game?
Mr. Neelix, it doesn't matter what you think. Now. Judith, yes. Jessica Biel. Interesting choice.
I'm going to have to Google her. Hang on.
Jessica Biel. Oh, she's gorgeous. She's not been in terribly many good films, to be fair.
Would you buy her? Oh, yes, so she's from Baywatch.
Is she?
Yeah.
I didn't know she was in Baywatch.
Remake. So I think she was. I don't recognise her with her clothes on. Who's the absolutely marvellous girl Who's the marvellous girl from Frozen? Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell would make a great B'Elanna Torres. She'd be fantastic.
Oh, do you know who I think would make a great B'Elanna Torres? Strong, feminine, assertive, Graham Norton.
Not my first choice. Not my first choice. Right.
John Barrowman as Lon Suda.
He wouldn't be bad. Do you know what? Barrowman was a character in the Arrow series. Where he played and he was pretty good as a villain. He wasn't bad at all, actually. I think he might play a good Suda. Now, who wants to play a game?
Yes, me.
Right, okay. So we've got a sting for this, and then I'll explain. If it's not obvious from the sting, I'll explain what the game is, and then we can play. You're going to be playing it, James, and everyone at home can play along too. So, again, I will explain the rules, so if you're confused by the sting, not to worry. Are you ready, James?
Ready.
Right, okay. Of course, now it's time. It's time for How High Are You? I'm going to give James the name of a famous Star Trek character, and James is going to have to guess exactly how tall he is in feet.
That's exactly what I thought this was going to be.
In the comments, you can play along too, but rather than guessing the height, because obviously at home you might Google it, I would like you instead to please guess if James is going to get the question. If James is going to get the question right or wrong. So in the comments, guess if James is going to get the question right or wrong. Would you like some time to think about this? Of course you would.
Do you want to? He hasn't even given us the character yet.
So, James, without Googling, I would like you to write down on a piece of paper and get ready to hold up on the screen.
Okay.
Precisely how tall in feet is Commander Worf?
Finding a piece. So sorry, Richard, just before you went on, I was busy scrabbling around getting a piece of paper. Have you given me the name of the character yet?
Lieutenant Worf.
Worf. Oh, and you want feet and inches, yes?
Feet and inches, please. How high are you?
Okay, right. I have an answer. Do you wish me to display the answer now?
Display the answer now.
There we go.
6'7". My word. Unfortunately, you are wrong, James.
Oh.
He's not quite as big as that. So you were looking for 6'4". So Vicky, you guessed wrong. You're right. Nadim, of course, you're right. You're right. Of course, you are, Christoph. Gary, no, you're wrong. Nadim, wrong. That means you're right. I don't understand.
Hang on, could I just check? Is that the height of Michael Dawn, or is that the height of Michael Dawn with the head stuff on?
It's the height of Lieutenant Commander Worf. I've referenced this.
Are you sure?
I've referenced this.
Hang on, I'm going to Google how tall is Michael Dawn.
Googling,
at least 3 inches tall with all the makeup.
You're not looking for Michael Dawn. You're looking for Commander Worf. That was the question. Okay, trust me, Michael Dawn. I've stood next to him in a queue for Starbucks. Not was it Starbucks at the Hilton? Anyway, he's not 6'4". He's about 6.
1.9 meters in feet.
The character Worf is
6'3", 6'2" and a bit. Okay, fine. So, all right.
Oh, you didn't miss choose your choose.
No, Linda, no.
You missed how high are you?
Oh, you best play the jingle again, quick, because she obviously missed it.
All right, we'll play it once more. We're going to do it to death. Just for you, Linda. This is our new game. How high are you? And this week we asked Commander Worf, how high are you? And we discovered that he was 6'4".
I think the crowd love it, Richard.
It's a winner. I mean, choose your choose is a hard act to follow, but I mean, I think this is some of my best work. I can't lie.
Well, that was superb. So is this going to be a weekly thing now? How high are you?
How high are you?
Fantastic. And so it won't always necessarily be me guessing. We might have someone else come on and guess.
It might not always be Commander Worf either.
It won't be every week.
I mean, it might be.
But this week he's standing on a box.
Could be. Could be.
This week he's standing in a hole. Right, hang on. We've got plenty of comments coming in on the Voyager recasting. Let's have a look. We scroll back. I think I saw. So Jessica Biel, yes, good choice. We'll have that. So Judith, have you put any options forward for? Let's see. Now, as I'm scrolling down through the comments,
for me, for Paris,
come on, get on with it.
I think Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
Sorry, Mark, I let you down there. Oh, I know. Let's have Genevieve Bujold as Janeway.
Wasn't she the actress originally cast as her?
Oh God, yes. Have you ever seen the footage that was released of Genevieve Bujold as Janeway?
It didn't. I mean, I know that she left of her own accord, but I'm kind of glad she did.
Yeah, it
was a bit
pretty
stiff,
pretty dire.
Yeah. I mean, she might have grown on us as Chakotay did. Could you imagine Genevieve and Robert Beltran in the same episode?
So I noticed. Let's talk about Prodigy, shall we? Are you up to spec on Prodigy?
I'm not up to the very latest one, I'm afraid. I last watched it on Monday evening, so I've not seen this week's.
Okay. Yeah, I watched the last one. just now, and I skipped ahead and I've missed 3 episodes, I think, to get there because everyone was talking about this week's. Oh, he's gone. But Chakotay is a significant feature, I think, in the back end of Prodigy because he keeps being We've gone into a parallel universe or something, haven't we?
It's got a bit warmer. Hang on. Echo. Office thermostat, 16 degrees.
I don't know that one.
It's because he pushed his thing. Echo. Office thermostat, 16 degrees.
Thermostat is set to 16.
Thank you.
Hang on, I'll fix it for you.
That's much better. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, I will never forget the first time I came round to your house and you had an Alexa in your study.
Yes.
And you said something like "computer dim lights," and it replied, "Enjoy watching Chocolat."
Yeah, and then it opened up and it switched on my TV, and it started playing a really good martial arts film called Chocolat, which normally like that wouldn't have bothered me, but because James was there, it looked a bit silly.
It was most amusing. What have we got here? I think that's going back to that.
I don't know where you're getting that from, Vicky. They were clearly preparing to guess the height of someone.
So if you'd like to see us on stage at any science fiction event around the world that we would come along and host it for you, do feel free to drop us a line and tell us. And we'll come and play things like Choose Your Choose. And of course, what else?
How high are you?
Oh, Blankety Blank.
Oh, yes, Blankety Blank live. I'd love to do that. That'd be marvellous.
Oh, we haven't done Blankety Blank in ages.
We haven't. I can't even remember how we do it.
Well, we can't do it tonight. We haven't got enough people.
We used to get the audience to play. Oh, yes, of course, I remember Blankety Blank now. So we could possibly look into doing a Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, or Strike It Lucky.
Yes, Strike It Lucky we could do. Catchphrase.
Catchphrase.
Yeah.
We can
You
help
could
you
have-
with that one.
Yeah, there you go. We could have you doing something, and we'd have some blocks and just remove little blocks.
Keep pressing and guessing. What's
Pressing and
Mr. Chips doing?
It's good, but it's not the right answer.
Is it Up the Garden Banana?
What was the
We've got this one. University Challenge. Do you remember when Red Dwarf did Red Dwarf Night? They had Universe Challenge.
They had the cast versus the fans, didn't they?
Yes, I think the cast won, actually. The fans
No,
were
they
humiliated.
got smashed by the fans. The fans destroyed them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It was 20-odd years ago, and drink has been taken since then.
The Young Ones University Challenge was definitely my favourite. That was Scumbag College.
Will £50 win me the point? Yes.
Stick a target on Halloween ends and play bullseye. I'm confused by that statement, but certainly if we did Let's Talk Trek live, it'd be rude if we didn't play bullseye. If only we had some darts players.
Jim Bowen famously said that Bullseye was the second best darts-based quiz on television.
I'd agree with
Which was
that.
the only darts-based quiz on television.
Do you remember that other one they done, Big Break? That was grand, wasn't it? Big Break.
Pot
Well,
as
it's
many
not about-
balls as you can.
I used to love Bullseye, and Tony would be there and be all right. Take your time. We want you to win. We want you to win. A2. It's the multi-valve engine speedboat. It's like, well, I live in Sheffield.
In an 8th floor flat.
It's like you're not allowed a speedboat down the canal.
Uh, dear. So, Richard, you've been nominated for the holographic Doctor.
I probably could do that.
Could
Give
you
me
do
a
opera?
line. Give me a. I do sing a little opera, but what famous Doctor's line would you like me to give?
Please state the nature of the medical emergency.
Please state the nature of the medical emergency.
You've gone very American there, haven't you?
Well, he's He is American. Okay. Would you be so kind as to state the nature of the medical emergency?
Or he could be a British doctor and you could wait 8 hours to see him.
G'day, mate. I'm your flying
Tricorder.
holographic doctor.
Medical tricorder.
Medical tricorder. Looks like you've been bitten by a dingo.
Struth is some kind of rampant pathogen. What do you bloody well go beaming down into that for?
Who's irritating enough to play Neelix? Oh, John Barrowman.
Graham Norton.
Graham Norton. Chris Rock.
Christopher Biggins.
He's dead, isn't he?
I don't think so. Well, dear viewers, those of you who are there, why don't you Google Christopher Biggins and let us know in the comments if he's still alive. Anyone off The Only Way is Essex?
I've not seen. What's The Only Way is Essex?
It's about people who live in Essex. That's all
Right.
I know about it, really.
Oh, you've not seen it either.
They go to a nightclub occasionally, and it's not the sort that I would go to with you, Richard, where we'd walk down the stairs in dinner jackets and be shown to our table by the maitre d' who'd announced us after our decorations. And then a lady would come round with a tray selling cigarettes and an albatross.
What sort of gentleman's club is this? It sounds very uncivilized if a lady doesn't come round with a tray selling cigars and cigarettes and whatnot.
I said she would come round. Well, yes, the one in The Only Way of Essex doesn't have that. Yes. Oh, hang on. Yes, Biggins is still alive. There we are.
Which pantomime is he doing next?
All of them. Oh, Sandy Toksvig. She could be Neelix.
Do you know she's probably quite good?
Yeah. How about Anton Deck? Could be Paris and Kim.
Oh, these are the two that do celebrity,
Wait, I'm on. That's
Eating
been Delphi.
aren't they? The celebrity. I'm a Celebrity. Get me out of here.
That's the ones.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the show. I think it's marvelous.
Is if anyone's watching it, is Matt Hancock still in the jungle?
He's very popular. People keep voting for him, I hear.
No, they keep voting for him to have to do things like eat a kangaroo's anus and have dropped all over him and things like that. They're enjoying seeing him suffer.
I've never seen it myself, so I wouldn't know. But people seem to like him. He's getting a lot of screen time. Harry Hill as Neelix, yes. He'd even get Badger Parade in, wouldn't he?
Oh, bad news, Richard. Badger Parade
What?
has been cancelled.
What?
Uh, who else is in Voyager? Hang on. So we've gone through Janeway, Chakotay, Paris, Kim.
The difficult one is 7 and 9, isn't it? The difficult one is 7 and 9. Oh no, she wasn't in Year of Hell. Oh, yes, she was.
Was she? I can't remember.
7 and 9. Who would you cast as 7 9? Who's got the? I think it's going to have to be for me, Hannah Waddingham.
Hannah Waddingham.
In fact, no, I'll strike that. Hannah Waddingham should play Janeway because she'd be brilliant as Janeway.
Oh, now you've struck gold there.
Yes, Hannah Waddingham as Janeway, and we'll have.
Oh, Jason Sudeikis as Chakotay then.
No, he's got too much charisma. Jason Sudeikis as Paris, Tom Paris, that would work.
He's a bit old for Tom Paris, though, isn't he?
Oh, Christoph's got it right there. Karen Gillian as 7 and 9. Yes, please. Fantastic. That's a good shout.
It's a very good choice. He has chosen wisely. Yeah. So, who would be the big bad in the Voyager film that we've written?
Well, originally it was that chap from In the Year of Hell. It was the chap from RoboCop. I've forgotten his.
What, Peter Weller?
No, the baddie from the first RoboCop film. He was the baddie in the Voyager series. The Voyager Year of Hell. The leader of the Krenin.
I don't know. Tell us in the comments, who was that? I was going to go to
He was in RoboCop. Oh, I can't
the
remember.
same guy who was Jellicoe. He was the baddie in RoboCop, wasn't he?
He was the corporate baddie. I'm talking about the corporate. The guy who went and that guy. He was there.
Gunpowder Milkshake. I've heard of this film. I must look that up.
I do like Carrie Gillian. I think she's absolutely wonderful. Very talented actress. And very pretty as well. And apparently she's tall. Ooh, there's... Pay attention,
there's
viewers.
a candidate
It might come
for
up in a later episode.
Well, you want to be careful. You don't want to spoil the surprise of who it is that you put up for How High Are You?
That's it. Clarence. Not sure that's his surname, but it's definitely Clarence something.
Clarence Bodiker.
So, yeah, I mean, so we're going to have Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Chakotay, Hannah Waddingham as Janeway. We're going to have Jason Sudeikis as Tom Paris, Karen Gillan as Seven of Nine. We're going to have, oh gosh, who did we say for Blana Torres?
It was Graham Norton, wasn't it?
No. Harry Hill as Neelix.
That is inspired. That really is inspired.
We need someone really sort of wooden.
Kurtwood
Smith. That was it.
Oh, Kurtwood Smith. He appeared in Trek in all sorts of roles. He was the president, I think, in Star Trek VI, President of the Federation. He had big hair and a funny moustache.
We need someone absolutely wooden with no acting ability to play Kiz. Or Natalie Portman. She could play Kez.
I was going to go to Nicolas Cage straight away there.
Kurtwood Smith. That's it. Kurtwood Smith. Yes. So I think we've cast everyone apart from Kim, Harry Kim. Oh, who's the chap? Who's the comedian that's in Young Rock? Oh, I've forgotten his name now, but he should be Harry Kim. He's brilliant.
Quite right, Dan, but I got there before you. Yeah. Oh. Tricia Helfer.
Is this someone I should Google?
Do you remember Battlestar Galactica?
Yes.
The reboot version. Do you remember number 6?
I like
Cylon in the red dress. Well, this is a promotion. She gets to be 7 now.
Oh, yes. Rather.
And no disrespect to ladies of more mature years, but I do think that Tricia Helfer might be a little older now than 7 of 9. But
well, I mean, Katty Sackhoff would probably pull it off.
Oh, she'd be brilliant as Paris.
Well, let me just have a quick look at Tricia Helfer now. Okay, yes, perhaps she's a little bit older to play 7 and 9 then. She again would make a good, very good Janeway. She's a wonderful actress as well. Really good.
Did you see, there was a series about 3 years ago called Ascension. Did you ever see that?
No.
It was brilliant. It posited that the United States in the 60s had launched a spacecraft, a generational spacecraft on the way to Alpha Centauri, and it was halfway there at this point, and we're picking up the lives of the crew. So they're like the second or even third generation on this ship already. And it's all like 60s technology. And it was brilliant, and she was in that, and she played a very sinister, self-interested character. I'll not mention anything about what happens at the end, because it got cancelled, and we'll never get the payoff of how it was going to end. But there was a brilliant twist at the end of the first season. But she was very good in that. Very good indeed. What's the... Oh, Christoph, honestly. We're not playing that now.
Yes, I was sorry. I need to stop googling pictures of Trisha Helfer now. I've completely
Look,
forgotten about it. I really liked the Battlestar Galactica reboot. I thought it was very good.
Well, yes. So she was the Cylon that we met first of all, wasn't she?
Yes, the one in the room.
Hmm.
In the red dress.
It was always a bit vague. You know, she was around as a physical person, but she was also in Baltar's head. It was never clear to me whether he was actually imagining her or whether she actually was in his head in some way.
It's almost as if we couldn't figure out what in the Sam Hill was going on.
Gosh, it's been a while since we did Wish, isn't it?
Yes, I think it's time to introduce the clip.
So this week's clip is the battle that you never wanted to see, as to be what would happen if Starfleet went up against Earth Force, which is Star Trek essentially against Babylon 5. It's not the battle royal everybody wants. They all want Star Trek against Star Wars. But hey, that would just be, oh, they're firing lasers at us. Well, so what? You know, that's not even going to bounce off our navigational shields. Roll VT. Terribly exciting, wasn't it?
It was. I thought it was a little unfair of the Babylon 5 crew to respond to what were clearly friendship beacons being fired by the Federation with force. I mean, if someone fired a friendship beacon at me, I wouldn't automatically fire lasers back at them. I think that's a jolly unsporting. There we are.
Yes, I think so too. And it's just something I found casting around on YouTube earlier, but it did occur to me that if your enemy relies on a gate that you control and can just switch off to come through, why wouldn't you just turn it off?
Wormhole aliens. Yeah.
There you have it. So that was Wish for this week. Catherine Winnick. She's
not in
Vikings.
Presumably she must be blonde then, so legs that go forever.
Do you know why her legs are that long? Because otherwise they wouldn't reach the ground.
I wonder how high they are.
That could be a special adjunct round to Karen Gillan is this tall, but how tall are her legs?
Now, oh, wait, that's why I always carry a tape measure with me.
Oh dear. Right, have we got anybody else got anything witty to say? Because I'm running out of conversation.
No, we're good. And if you're watching this on a rerun and you couldn't find it on Facebook, apologies. We've literally got very few viewers compared to a normal amount because it's not on Facebook for some reason. So,
It
and
hasn't
if you're
appeared.
watching this, sorry, James.
It hasn't appeared. What's gone wrong?
Yeah, not sure what's going on. We'll have to get our northern colleagues to sort out the Facebook side of things. So, sincere apologies for that. And we hope you've enjoyed us talking about Star Trek vaguely for the past 50 minutes. We hope you enjoyed the new game. Stay tuned next week for more How High Are You? And yeah. There's going to be some new Star Trek on TV soon for us to dissect. We'll talk about that then.
Oh, Richard, I got your present. I'll kill that quickly before we get a copyright claim.
What, you don't think we'll get one already for How High Are You?
What, do you think anyone's actually going to assert copyright on that?
I hope so. But in all seriousness, another fun stream. Thank you. Thank you ever so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. And look after yourselves and each other.
And don't have nightmares. Goodbye.
Have you not got a sting for that?
Oh,
Do. You must
see what
have.
I've got. Oh, here we are. This is perfect.
Oh, heck.
Bye.